Siddharth, Shreya here, in the early morning we were talking about how the AIADMK might be rethinking its alliance with the Bharatiya Janata Party, but looking at the numbers, they have now come above DMK at 61 and DMK is 35. So clearly, the kind of anti-incumbency that we've been talking about as far as the Stalin government is concerned, that is not just Vijay, entering and impacting these polls. It's also a lot to do with the Stalin government not being able to perhaps fulfilling those promises that they made to the voters because of what we are seeing with the AIADMK numbers. They are also increasing their numbers, their vote share in this particular election result.
Absolutely. AIADMK was a party that is been on the decline over the last 10 years. Many were quick to even write the political obituary of the party, saying that it's been on terminal decline over the last decade after the demise of former Chief Minister and the party's supremo, Jayalalitha. But the kind of comeback that that party is making is metaphorically similar to the party itself and what it refers to itself as. They often say that rising back like a phoenix. So that is what is also visible, because they don't have a mass leader, they don't have a leader who has emerged shall I say, over the decades. Of course, Palaniswamy is somebody who has risen through the ranks, but he cannot be compared in charisma to MGR or Jayalalitha, who were earlier the faces, respectively, of the AIADMK. But Palaniswamy, under his leadership, ADMK pulling off this kind of a performance is also quite incredible. And it also shows that the party is able to, garner this kind of support even in a tough election like this. Many saw this as a very close fight, but going by the numbers, it looks like at least ADMK has got twice as much numbers as per initial trends than the ruling DMK. So this also indicates anti-incumbency, and at the same time, this also indicates that the AIADMK is reviving its fortunes. This is a party that cannot be wiped out. That is what the ADMK is proving. Now they don't have a tall leader, it's only Palaniswamy. Of course, he's been around in the party for 4 to 5 decades. But the fact remains that he has not won an election on his own. Palaniswamy was Chief Minister, but that was after Jayalalitha won the Chief Ministership that he later took on the mantle after her demise. But he was not directly elected. He was never the CM face and he was never elected. When he was the CM face of the party, he was defeated. But now, this time around, when the party was expected to, considerably weaken further, the party is rising up like a phoenix. Although they're not winning, they're at least in contention for the second post. So that is what we have to look at. And at the same time, let's also remember that the establishment parties have a very good ground infrastructure. They have a well-oiled election machinery. And at the same time, that's why it's also surprising how a newbie political party with social media presence and just one man's charisma. If you talk about Vijay's party, there are barely 2 or 3 candidates who are well known. All of them are newbies. All of them are from humble backgrounds. Most of them do not have any backing in politics except for that large Vijay brand that they carry and the tag that they carry. And it's just using that they've managed to garner so much, as opposed to the establishment political parties, the giants in the state.
And this is the kind of, Siddharth, this is coming in despite the kind of incidents that have happened in the past as far as TVK is concerned. We all remember that tragic stampede that happened that completely went against Vijay and his party. And he had to really reach out and make an effort to make sure that it doesn't have a negative impact. But clearly that hasn't affected it, this entire election much.
See, what's incredible is the way Vijay has been able to frame a certain narrative and keep it going. In fact, for this actor politician, over the last 6 to 8 months, I must say, there's been a pattern of back-to-back setbacks. First was the Karur stampede. So thereafter, Vijay said that it was a conspiracy against him. He said that I'm not to blame, I only came to meet the people. While he did admit that there was a delay in his overall schedule, he also later on admitted that it was a conspiracy. He alleged that it was a conspiracy by the ruling DMK against him to derail his political prospects. Then shortly after that, there was an investigation. His party itself wanted not a state probe, but a central probe, CBI probe. CBI probe is underway. The clear, shall I say, the results of that probe are not out yet. At the same time, let's also tell you that Vijay's film has been stormed. The film was supposed to release during the Pongal festival in Jan. Here we are in May. The film has still not been released. Vijay has been blaming the established political parties, saying they want to stop my rise. I want to work for the people, but they want to stop my rise. They stopped the release of my film. They're not letting me see my fans. They're not letting me campaign properly. He's been saying time and again that the established powers want to stop him in his tracks and they don't want him to emerge. So this is the sentiment that he's he's been playing on, and clearly that's what is reflecting now in the numbers. And pretty much whatever he's campaigned, it has reached the people, and people have taken it seriously. The numbers are the evidence. While at the time of campaign there were different kinds of memes, there was a lot of ridicule saying that this would not work out, but ultimately people are the gods in democracy, and the people have decided, the Almighty has decided, and people have decided what they want, and that choice is what is reflecting in the numbers. Troll all you want, ridicule all you want, because that's how the social media age is, that's how electioneering in Gen Z dominated landscape is, but ultimately this is the reality. The numbers are here for everyone to see.
Absolutely, Siddharth. Thanks so much for getting us those latest, and clearly whatever the strategy that he has adopted, that Vijay adopted, was able to get him past that tragic stampede that Shreya also mentioned. 41 people had died in Karur in Tamil Nadu that day. But as of now, what we're seeing in these numbers and in these trends, his narrative setting and his campaigning has got the people to still have their trust in him. We'll come back to you, Siddharth. That was Siddharth MP guiding us the latest from the DMK headquarters. He also highlighted